Sick and tired of the United States of lemmings. Yes, the Democrats have weaponized the Wuhan coronavirus, forcing the economy to its knees, forcing tens of millions of Americans into unemployment, forcing people to social distance. Boy, am I getting sick of hearing that crap. These blue state governors have already accomplished their collective conspiratorial and nefarious goal. Yes, they have control of about 1/3 of the U.S. economy and have destroyed one of the greatest boom times in American history. But more importantly, they apparently control the minds and the souls and the constitutional rights of about 100 million Americans. Wear a mask. But what is a mask? Is it a mask or is it a muzzle? Truth is, a mask isn't going to do anything to stop the spread of a virus that, just like the flu, is commonly transmitted when our hands touch our eyes. Last I checked, masks do not cover the eyes. Oh, but I'm sure Gavin Newsom's working on that too. And for the record, there is not one shred of evidence that any of the unconstitutional edicts issued by Newsom and Cuomo and Pritzker and Murphy and Northam are mitigating the spread of the Wuhan coronavirus. Zero evidence. But back to my point. Sick and tired of people who I thought were rational thinkers falling for this political conspiracy to harm the re-election chances of Donald Trump. And you know what? As disgusting as this sounds, these partisan vultures may have succeeded. These blue state governors and blue city mayors tell people, oh, all of this is for your health. Poppycock. It's for Joe Biden. It's for Chuck Schumer. It's for Nancy Pelosi. In other words, the government response to the Wuhan coronavirus is all about raw political power. That's it. No more, no less. It has zero to do with protecting Americans. And so these people who just go along with these draconian anti-constitutional orders without questioning Cuomo or Newsom or Northam are just amazing to me. Sure, I know they are scared, but why? Why are they scared? Answer, because Cuomo, Newsom, Northam have lied to them. They have painted a drastic, ugly, and inaccurate worst-case picture of the potential of this virus. Remember the predictions of 2.2 million dead Americans? A lie. Remember the predicted surge, hospitals spilling out into the streets? Another lie. Remember when we found out that doctors are being forced to label it a corona death with no autopsy and no confirmation that COVID-19 was the cause? Only an assumption? Remember that from the CDC and Dr. Fauci? Another ongoing lie. Sick of this. The death count numbers are worthless, absolutely worthless. Why aren't these lemmings in California listening to the chief medical officer in Los Angeles, who comes out every day like this gray-haired ghoul announcing how many people have died? Each time she rears her ugly face, she is exposing this government-created fraud. The vast majority of the dead are elderly with underlying health conditions. People of California, do you hear that? 99% of us will not die from the Wuhan coronavirus. Why are you not connecting the dots? I'm sick of trying to explain to people how stupid they're being. I'm sick of listening to this Newsom character coming out each and every day, looking straight into the camera with glee, telling the people of California, nah, not today, not this week, no constitutional rights for you today. You will just have to wait for King Gavin to wave his scepter to allow you to go to the beach or go to a park or watch a baseball game. It's unreal. Sick of it. And the media, these reporters on television and radio, and these advertisers, we're all in this together. Another lie. These people are still collecting a paycheck. They're not struggling to pay the bills of a restaurant whose operations have been raped by politicians who are willing to destroy businesses and careers and lives and the entire economy, all for the sake of winning an election. The media, all they do is repeat whatever Big Brother tells them to say. It's incredible. So sick of hearing, oh, Just stay at home and don't do anything until Governor Genius over there tells me it's okay to live my life. And one more thing. I am pro-cop 100%. However, ladies and gentlemen of law enforcement, you swore an oath to uphold the United States Constitution, not some decree from a Democrat operative who calls his or herself the head of the Department of Health in some county. As police officers, you should be defending the right to free speech, not facilitating the upending of it. I'm sick of these cops arresting Americans for the crime of walking on the beach or playing ball with their child in a park. You ought to be ashamed. Turn in your badges. Resign or defend my right to go to church. Sick of all this. The politicians, the media, the vast majority of Americans are repeating the same refrain. It's a lie also. The economy, the American way of life being impacted by the Wuhan coronavirus. No, it's not a lie. Being repeated over and over and over again. Out of 330 million people, about 50,000 were hit hard by the virus. The rest of us are being impacted by the government response. Do stay at home. Don't go to work. Do collect your government checks. Don't walk down that aisle at Walmart. It's the wrong way. Do wear a mask. Don't gather in groups. Do stay 6 feet apart. Don't celebrate life. I am disgusted with far too many Americans capitulating to this wholesale and unprecedented attack on liberty. No questions asked. I am sick and tired of living here in the United States of lemmings. Now, in Georgia, the governor is trying to do the right thing while these blue city mayors in the peach state, like Keisha Lance Bottoms, do everything they can to stop it.
I've searched my head and my heart on this, and I really am at a loss as to what the governor is basing this decision on.
Let me educate you, Madam Mayor, of what the governor is basing the decision on. Brian Kemp, we had Brian Kemp on this program when he was running for governor. And he seems like a pretty much down-to-earth guy. And I remember he happens to defend this thing called the United States Constitution. So you don't have to search very far, Madam Mayor, of why the governor is trying to reopen the peach state. He's doing it because people have constitutional rights in your city and in your state and in this country. He's standing up for liberty. He's standing up for the Bill of Rights. And I know what? I think something else. If he and I were alone, having a cigar, maybe a beer, I believe that he would also tell me that he smells the same rat that I smell. I smell the Democrat Party rat. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, all combining to try and ruin the economy because they know they have control of X amount of it, combining, conspiring to ruin the economy, to harm the re-election chances of the 45th president of the United States. We're never going to be able to prove this. I'm never going to be able to prove this unless one of these people comes out and turns coat and says, yeah, you're exactly right, Mr. Ledger. Your instincts are dead on target. This was a conspiracy to sink the re-election chances of Donald Trump. But you know what? I'm going to take it to my grave. I believe that's exactly what has transpired here in one of the darkest days, darkest moments in American history. So one more time, this is not about your health. This is about a radical political party that has gone rogue and is so consumed with power that it's willing to crush people's lives in order to regain control of all of Congress and, yes, regain control of the White House. Coming up next, President Trump and his predictions of a spectacular